Falcon fans everywhere. Welcome to What the Falcon with your host T Will and my guy Scott Karasic.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right. I've been saying his name wrong forever, so guys forgive me, but it is pronounced Karasic. Think Jurassic Park with the C, Karasic, and now we got it. So Scott, my apologies. Thank you for
All
letting me
good.
know. I would not make that error again. Welcome. Scott, you haven't been feeling too well, man. You've been under the weather. So how you doing, Trooper?
Much better now. Had a little bit of a cold the last couple days, so not ideal, but can only do what you can do.
Yeah, man. That thing
Um,
had you down yesterday.
yeah, I was wanting to find some sort of hose and stick it into my nose and just flood it all out.
Yeah. Yeah, well. I'm glad
There's
you're
no
feeling
easy way
better.
to do that.
Well, what's that? What do they call that? The Navage or whatever? Don't they have a
The,
Navage you can do
the
that with?
neti pots.
Something like that? Yeah. Yeah. I've never tried it, but I've heard that it works wonders. So, you know.
It
Hey,
can, but you got to use this distilled water with it. Otherwise, you could be potentially putting worse bacteria into your nose.
oh, give yourself brain okay, I
Give
get it.
yourself a brain amoeba.
Ugh. Oh, that's just nasty. Ugh. Okay. Wow. All right. Great way to start the show. Amoebas. Let's go. Let's talk about it. All right. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to What the Falcon. And by the way, those of you who are in the chat and those of you who are not, I just want you to know that my good friend and co-host, Miss Carrie, is now free to use the YouTube and access my channel. That's right. Carrie and I fixed it the other night. We got it right. It only took us 2.5 to 3 weeks, but it's okay because she can now access the show from the YouTube. That's right. I said the YouTube because I'm old. Anyway, Scott.
Old guy mess up trying to fix it was I know what happened there.
I think you were there. I think you were in the show when it happened. I think. I don't
No,
know.
I wasn't, but
Oh,
I
okay.
she
Yeah.
I've been in every show since when she's been like, and Terry still has me
Blocked.
blocked for
That's
some
right.
reason.
What's up with T Will? And then my brother joined in. Free carry, free carry. Which, by the way, Eric, carry's free. Okay. I don't hear you in here now. I don't see you, Eric Parker. Anyway, we
Well,
got
it wasn't free. It wasn't like Carrie was blocked for a long time because of intention. It was like Carrie was blocked because of what's the word? Not incompetence, but
negligence.
negligence. We'll go with that.
Yeah, negligence. And hey, I didn't mean to block her. I mean, she's one of my greatest friends in this industry. Like I talk to her every day. If it's one person I would not block, it would be Carrie. But it was fun. Carrie says, "Hi T Will and Scott. Hope you can see this because if you can, that means I'm officially free." Woohoo! Carrie's free. All righty. And Antonio is in here. Free at last. Thank God Almighty, Carrie is free at last. And Rod Thomas says, older than dirt, T will.
Uh,
Whatever, Ron. Whatever, Ron. Okay. I am, I mean, I do feel older than dirt. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not older than dirt. I'm just a little younger. Eric Parker says, but you did. Whatever, Eric. Nobody cares.
I
Nobody cares.
I have we might be saying free at last about something else in about a week and a half,
Is
but
that right?
that's
Well,
my understanding.
Scott, do tell. Don't leave us in suspense. What?
June 1st is a big day for Kirk Cousins' contract.
So let's talk about this. I'm glad you brought this up. Now, Scott, I have been singing your praises without singing your praises. Okay. What do you mean, T. Will? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you thought it but didn't ask. Anyway, um, so I've been saying that there was a rumor on some publication. I don't know the publication; it's not really reliable, but they essentially said the same thing that you said a month and a half ago, which is the Falcons already have a deal in place with the Steelers, right? So I kind of wanted to make myself seem like I'm in the know. So I was like, I talked to a source, a month and a half ago, and he said the same thing, right? That basically the Falcons have a trade in place with the Steelers. And if
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers decides not to come here, bada bing, bada boom. So I just want you to know I've been low key singing your praises without low key singing your praises.
And
But there you go.
that deadline for Aaron Rodgers that they just mentioned is likely June 1st.
You know, well, you know what? Let's just go to that because I had that prepared. Well, apparently I didn't. God dang it, T. Will. Come on, man.
We're giving everybody our whole plan.
I really am. Jeez. Okay, there you go. Get it right, T. Will. Let's see here. So, Steelers have an official deadline of signing Aaron Rodgers. Basically, according to Adam Schefter, my guess is he's going to wind up there. Looks like at the end of the day, he said they expect him to come in either this week or next. Now, T. Will, why are we bringing up Aaron Rodgers? We don't care. Well, we're bringing up Aaron Rodgers because if Aaron Rodgers does not sign, the next move is, you guessed it, Kirk Cousins. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to sign because I just cannot see Mike Tomlin and
I
Aaron Rodgers working together. I don't know. But go ahead. What are you about to say, Scott?
I see Aaron Rodgers waiting until someone gets injured in training camp
Okay. To go to
and
another.
signing wherever with a team like, let's say Joe Burrow goes down. I could see Aaron Rodgers being like, I'll sign for $10 million for a year with the Bengals.
Okay.
Let's say Lamar Jackson goes down. I'd sign for $10 million for a year with the Ravens. Like a good team that has a real shot at a Super Bowl, and he's just a mercenary. That's what he's gonna do.
Right.
He's gonna sign somewhere as a mercenary.
Right.
For a season and then retire at the end. Or he's just gonna be like, you know what? I've already won a Super Bowl. I'm done. I'm good. I've made $300 million. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm out, Those are basically his options, right? I don't see the Steelers bringing him in. Can you imagine Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith getting along with Arthur Smith's offensive game plan?
No.
Do you really see him saying, yeah, I'm going to not retire to play in this game plan?
No. Wholeheartedly, no. I don't see that. I do not see that happening. I don't see it happening at all. Like, I don't see that happening with Mike Tomlin. And don't get me wrong, Mike Tomlin can coach the devil if need be. Like, Tomlin can get along with anybody. But Aaron likes to take over organizations. And that's my concern, is that that's not going to fly in Pittsburgh.
It's Brady without the Brady caliber results.
Yeah. Well, I think Brady was decent about it. Aaron tried to get folk fired. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Very true. Brady was like, hey, I just want my guys. Like, can I just bring my guys with me?
Right.
And when he went to Tampa Bay, because he brought Gronk with him.
Yep.
AB went down there. I forget who else followed him, but like he had a couple guys follow him down there. And then he was like, I mean, I don't need much more than Evans, Gronk, and Godwin. Like, I'm good here. But if AB's here, I'm down. Julio went down to Tampa and played with him. Like,
they got him some weapons.
They got him weapons the whole time. Like, it wasn't like they were doing nothing with him, you know? Yeah. And they let him be like, hey, first round of the draft, or second round of the draft, maybe we get an offensive lineman here.
Yeah.
Like,
that could work. That could work. All right. Gary says, I'm free. Thank you, Falcons fam in chat, for all the free Carrie messages. Appreciate you all. Carrie's laughing. Ron says, can we trade Kirk Cousins and T. Will for a 7th-round pick ASAP? How about we trade Ron and Kirk and a case of beer? How about that? I think that's better, Ron. I think that's better. Just me. Carrie was blocked for the content. Laugh out loud. I got T Will's drip. I did not intentionally block you, Carrie. Eric says, how do we know that's really Carrie? Antonio, welcome back, Clone Carrie. Oh my God, you see what they started? Eric Parker, Carrie, where do you live? Oh wow. All right, so Scott, I don't think you're aware of
The
this.
worst state
But
in the world. Isn't she in
no,
like Orlando?
I think she lives in close to Tampa. I
Oh,
think
okay. I knew she was in Florida and she went to Tampa games. I was just assuming Orlando.
yeah, I think she lives close to Tampa. But how the whole thing with where do you live? We had some jerk in here asking her where she lived. And so
Oh,
that's that, Eric has a mind like a steel trap. So that's where that comes from, because I think he was in that show. We got Christy Lewis in the chat. Christy
kidding.
says, Carrie, I picketed in the snow, rain to get you back, sis. Hashtag free Carrie. Antonio says Carrie is a spy. All right, Scott, we got a show to do. Let's go, buddy.
Yeah.
So essentially, the Atlanta Falcons DC Jeff Ulbrich is extremely excited about the upcoming year. He says it's going well. We're in the process of blending a couple of systems, a little bit from what they did last year, a little bit from what we're bringing from New York. In doing so, I think it has been awesome from their standpoint. A lot of new concepts, new techniques, new fundamentals. They're getting challenged in a lot of ways, but I'm getting challenged as well. Learning a lot of stuff that's brand new to me. It's really been fun and exciting and challenging and everything in between. There's been a lot of turnover on that side of the ball with both. Anyway, whatever. Give me your thoughts, Scott, on this new defense and what it's going to look like. I know you are a defensive aficionado, and I know you've at least come up with some concepts in your brain. Give me your thoughts on what the defense is going to look like at all three levels, if you don't mind.
So we did a whole show on this
I know.
before, and I broke down, and everything they're talking about is everything I expected to see.
Okay.
That one gap defense, right? And you might be asking, what's a one gap defense? Like, why is it there? Do you still have the graphics I sent you from the defense?
Probably do not. But I can check and see. But go ahead and explain while I'm looking for it. Go ahead. We won't need that, Eric. Go ahead.
So it's easier to do with a little bit of visual. So let me just find one real quick. So a lot of times with NFL defenses, you'll see two gap defenses, or partial two gap defenses where half the line is covering two gaps. You got a 5 technique lined up over the tight end or over the tackle. You got a 0 technique over the nose. Then on the flip side of it, you've got a 3 tech and a 6 tech, both lined up shooting gaps.
Yep.
That's a standard mixed defense. That's something that Belichick came up with. I hate it because half the defense is doing one thing, half the defense is doing something else. But it works for Belichick. It always has. 3-4 with 4-3 concepts, 4-3 with 3-4 concepts. They're going to have some of that, but they're going to run it all one gap. So if you've got one gap, your player's lined up in that gap. That's his gap he's responsible for in case of a run play.
Okay.
Normally, in this type of defense, you have a 1 technique nose tackle lined up in the A gap between the guard and the center.
Okay.
That's his gap. That's what he controls. It's gap control defense, basically. It's also called gap control. One gap, gap control, same thing. You control your gap. You penetrate your gap. And if they don't get you, you make that play in the backfield. Basically, every play is a pass rush.
Got you. Okay.
So your guys are pass rushing even when they're not pass rushing, because their job is to just penetrate the line and create chaos. And offensive linemen hate going against it because it's very tough on them if they, especially zone blocking teams hate it, because you go against a zone blocking team, their job is to seal different defensive players. Well, if a guy's already in the gap and he's sealed, but someone else is exploding the gap that you just vacated to seal that guy, he's already in the backfield. He's making that play. So it's very frustrating with zone defense to go against the gap control offense or zone offense to go against the gap control defense. So that's the big thing. It should help with better run defense this year, even though he says he's not huge on the run defense, or not as big on the run defense. He focuses more on the pass. Gotcha. It's going to help out a lot. It's a much simpler scheme for the front seven. Now for the back end, it'll be more complicated.
Why is that?
So they're going to run a lot different zones. They're going to run a lot more. One thing we didn't do here was zone match concepts and man match concepts and man match rules, right? We did a lot of straight up zone and man rules.
What's a zone match and a man match?
So zone match, when you're running that concept, you match with your receiver. I'm still kind of iffy on it a little bit, just to be totally upfront, but it's just a different way of playing your zone where you match up with the guy more physically suited to you, if you will.
Okay.
And you line up with that guy and it looks like man, you run zone, or it's a good way to disguise coverage too, is the other thing. So you can disguise as if it's a man coverage, and then you just adjust your zones based on that too.
Okay.
So, and
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Man match is more like, depending on who the receiver is who you're actually pressing, or who you're not pressing.
Gotcha.
Certain guys you press, certain guys you don't.
Okay. So if you're Clark Phillips, you're going to go for a shorter receiver then, right? Is that
if you're Clark Phillips and a shorter receiver is in front of you, you might press.
Okay.
If a slower receiver is in front of you, you might press. But if the guy is super fast and you've got Tyreek Hill, going against you, you're going to play off 10 yards.
Yeah.
So it's more matching that kind of thing instead of what they did last year, which was the whole defense just played back 10 yards.
Okay.
everything off man, off zone, back 10 yards, no challenged releases. And then after the bye, Ra goes in and puts some of these match concepts in, and that's what led to them getting sacks. We started running match concepts. I think that's going to be a big piece of the defense this year. Okay. And then against the Panthers, they went back to off everything. I don't understand why Ra let that go. I
don't understand either.
Just do match concepts. It's so much easier. Your defense is so much better.
Probably,
but that's going to be the big schematic thing. And then obviously, it's just a better roster.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited about it, man. I'm excited to see specifically what we can do with our pass rushers. I'm excited to see the first time we bring in Walker and Pierce. And I wonder if there'll be situations where we rush them from the same side. You know what I mean? Maybe do Pierce on the outside and run a stunt with Walker on the inside, or give me your thoughts on that.
I mean, that sounds great, but you see if you're an offensive team, you see those two rookies right there.
Yeah.
You're killing to a run.
Okay.
So that wouldn't happen unless it's like 3rd and 20.
Gotcha.
Then it's like it doesn't really matter what happens with the pass rush. You trust your guys. You're probably going to do either a quick screen or a draw anyway.
Gotcha.
You might check to a screen in that situation.
Okay.
But yeah, they're not. I don't see that being a regular thing this year, right?
Okay.
I think Walker's got to put on a little bit more to his frame. I think Pierce has to put on a lot more to his frame. I think Pierce could probably stand to gain 20 pounds because he's got a frame that's very similar to John Abraham. Dude, if Pierce can be like John Abraham, I can't tell you how happy I would be.
Yeah, that would be outstanding.
That was my favorite player for years. And if Pierce could just be like the next John Abraham and put up 10 to 12 sacks a year, I'm I'm ecstatic. Those random years where he has like 15, 16, but like on average 10 to 12, I'm happy with that.
Oh, I'd be loving that. I would be absolutely loving that. All right, so who do you see? And I know that you said that Clark Phillips will probably replace Hughes as cornerback number 2 in this current system.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that, but who do you see taking the next step on the defensive line? Doesn't matter who it is, whether it's edge rusher, D tackle, nose tackle, whoever. Who do you see taking that next step this year, and kind of moving forward?
I've got 2 names.
Okay.
So interior wise, I see Rook.
Okay.
He is going to he may only be a 3 or 4 sack guy, but he's going to create a lot of pressure. He's going to be playing that one technique a lot. He's going to be eating a lot of double teams. He's going to be forcing a lot of penetration. This scheme fits him to a T.
Okay. Does he physically remind you of Grady a little bit, or am I tripping?
He's a good bit taller than Grady, honestly.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Rook's like 6'5", where Grady was like 6'1".
Okay.
He reminds me more of Gerald McCoy.
Oh, okay. That's hey, that's. I mean, if he could do that, we're good.
Yeah, I think his like ideal situation is he ends up being like the next Gerald McCoy.
Okay.
Which again, no one would complain if we've got a Jamal or not Jamal. If we got a John Abraham and a Gerald McCoy and I mean the closest thing we have to Jamal, the closest thing we have to the good Jamal Anderson is Tyler Algier.
Yeah. Okay.
Same kind of runner. But
yeah.
Just I'm gonna run over you. I don't care who you are. That was Jamal Anderson.
Oh man, did I tell you I met him?
Oh yeah, we talked about that last time.
He was. Oh my, he was. So he had to be like he couldn't have been 4, 5, 5, but this man was a Hulk. Like you'd have to put you and I together, and maybe Jack Spade, and that's how wide he was. When he shook my hand, he shook my arm. Like his hands, bro. There's no way in the world I'd hit him. That is a business decision. Because if you hit him, all of this is gone. If you hit, the only thing you could do with him is probably try and sweep his ankles. But after that, hey man, that's what they call a business decision. Okay.
I was a wrestler in high school, and I guarantee you there's a way to tackle him. Could I have done it? No, but there is a way to tackle him, and I could show people how to do it that are bigger and more talented than me.
Yeah, I'm not going near that.
There's a way to do it. I'm just saying I'm not the one that can.
But I'm not.
I know how to do it. I just am not going to be that guy to actually do it.
Yeah. I don't want my shoulder torn off.
Agreed.
So, yeah. No.
So the second guy there, because we were talking about good pass rushers, big steps on the line.
Yep.
Zach Harrison.
Really?
And again, I don't think he's like a 10 to 12 sack guy or anything. But could he be Michael Bennett? 6 to 7 sacks? Really good run defender? Absolutely. So and that's what I see.
Let me ask you this. What is it about Zach Harrison that makes you feel he's going to take this step forward?
Because they're talking about him like he's a starter.
Okay.
They're not talking about him like he's this rotational guy that still needs to learn stuff.
Gotcha.
They're like, no, this guy's ready. He's ready. He's going to start. He's playing into plans. Dorless is backing him up. All that. Fox is backing up the 3 tech, whoever that is. Okay. So he's that guy. Like, I'd rather just see Dorless play 3 tech, but okay. Yeah, that's what I see.
Cool. Antonio says, Carrie, blink 3 times if it's really you. Eric says, go live or it's not real. Craig says, just getting to the show, but it looks like T will let Carrie out of the basement. Oh my God, stop it. Eric says Carrie was AI.
It puts the lotion on the skin or it gets the hose again.
Craig says Kirk must be Carrie's account. Oh my God. Oh, Carrie's gonna love that. Let's see. Craig says Kirk. Oh no, my bad. William says we're gonna be a top 10 defense this year. I'd say maybe top.
I'd settle for average.
Yeah, I'd settle for top 20, top 15.
Because if we could see this team be average, right? At least in scoring defense, that's 21 points a game.
Yeah.
And then if they can play offense like they're supposed to, that's like 27, 28 points a game.
Yep.
Then my predictions are right. And it's not a crazy thought here. I'm talking 2 more points a game.
Yep.
Which over the 17 game season is 5 more touchdowns on the year.
Yep.
I'm saying they're going to score 5 more touchdowns this year than they scored last year. Okay. And then the defense needs to stop 2 more points a game. So I'm saying the defense will allow 5 less touchdowns this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's it. Those you allow 5 more. You allow 5 less touchdowns. You score 5 more touchdowns this year. That little difference right there wins you 3 more games.
Agreed. Agreed. That you could argue we should have won last year anyway. Like again,
but we allowed those extra 5 touchdowns and didn't score those extra 5 touchdowns. Like
Scott, I'm just looking at the mismanagement. I'm not even talking about that. I'm number one, the timeout game. That's a win, right? The field goal game with Koo. If you replace his ass, like there are 3 games I could point to, even without that we should have won. So you add that
on top of where we Washington, Carolina too. I know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bring up old stuff anyway. But you're right. You're right. So let's see. Eric says you tripping. I have no idea what he's talking about. Antonio says T Will met him at the drive-thru. Stop it. Ron says T Will can't grow. T Will grow some hair. Whatever, Ron. I've tried. It doesn't work. Mother Nature is cruel. Eric says top 5. There it goes again. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not. Hey, we could go top 5.
Maybe in 2026, but I'd settle for us going from 23rd to average to like 16th, and then we can talk about top 10 the year after.
I'm gonna. This is my Eric Parker imitation. If we have a top 5 defense this year, we're going to the Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Because that
top 5 defense is allowing 18 points a game. This offense is going to score at least 25.
Exactly. So if we are a top 5 defense this year, we're going to the Super Bowl.
If this is a top 5 defense, this team's going 15-2. Like,
oh shit.
But again, that's the caveat. If this is a top 5 defense,
no, I got you.
You're still losing to the Bills. You know, like whatever. You're still losing to probably San Fran in that situation, just because it's a short week and it's Sunday Night Football and it's all the way in San Fran.
Yep.
But even still, like, I'm not worried about what the defense ranks either. I believe if you get to a certain point of scoring points and a certain point of holding back scores, you're gonna win a lot more than you have.
Agreed. I said for me, best case scenario for me, best case scenario is 14-3. Worst case scenario for me is 12-5. Because I really see I see this team scoring points.
Yeah.
You know.
Barring injury, I'd say worst case scenario for me is 11-6. Yep. And best case is 13-4.
Yep. Yeah, that's not. We're basically aligned.
Yeah, I mean, you get a couple balls bouncing your way. Luckily, we'll look like the Vikings did last year, and then be like 15-2. Who knows?
Hey man,
but
man,
that would have us as the number 1 seed too. Just saying.
I would love it. Mike is in the chat. Mike says, "Shouty." Eric says 17-0 again. That's my bro. Millie Mills says, T Will, what's up, bro? What's going on, Millie Mills? How you doing? All right. So, as you may have heard, Jim Irsay passed last night, and rest in peace to Mr.
R.I.P.
Irsay. Um, and just a few quotes. Peyton Manning says, I'm heartbroken to hear about Jim Irsay's passing." Manning wrote, adding that Irsay was an incredibly generous and passionate owner, and that he would always be indebted to him for giving him a start in the NFL. Pat McAfee says, "This is devastating." Quote. McAfee said, expressing how fortunate he was to have a friendship with Irsay. He also highlighted Irsay's unique character and his ability to connect with players. Reggie Wayne says, "Man, I'm absolutely crushed. You've done so much for me and so many others. There will never be another one like you. Rest in peace." So, again, condolences to Jim Irsay's family and friends and the whole entire Colts organization. And yeah, man, just wanted to. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't do that. So I wanted to shout out to the Colts and the Irsays and friends and family as well. All right.
Irsay was one of the more generous owners to his area, very similar to Arthur Blank in that respect. So
Yep. Yep.
he was a good dude.
Yep.
He was a bad dude at times, but for the most part, he was a good dude.
Yeah, I've heard he battled his demons off the field, but I mean, hey man.
Well, I wouldn't say bad dude. He was more like a wild dude
Yeah.
than anything else. Like he was just wild. He wasn't like bad at heart.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Chaotic.
And I agree with it. And I agree with it. I really do. So you and I talked about this. The percentage of this happening. Give me your thoughts. Like, if you had to assess right now,
10% Rodgers goes to the Steelers, 90% Rodgers retires.
Okay.
Or Rodgers just says, you know what? I don't really feel like joining the Steelers right now because they want him in for mini camp, training camp, be a part of the Steelers process, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers is like, I just want to show up for training camp.
Right.
So I don't see Rodgers signing anywhere until July at the earliest. I really don't see Rodgers signing anywhere, period, until like somebody goes down. And then he'll be like, yeah, this is close enough. I know these plays. I call them something different. Just tell me what to say in the helmet and tell me what it is, and I'll go from there.
Interesting or interested to hear your assessment of Rodgers at this point in his career.
Bottom 10 starting quarterback, probably ranks 23rd to 27th range.
Okay.
He's competent enough to where he could lead a team that's got everything else to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not competent enough to win a game in the playoffs.
Okay.
So I mean, in that case, he's perfect for the Steelers. But
wow.
I mean, when was the last time they won a playoff game?
No, I know what you mean. I know. I get it. I'm just.
My wife is a Steelers fan, and she's like, "When are we gonna fucking win a playoff game?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't think he will in the next 10 years. Like, until Tomlin's gone, he's got like 10 more years. She's like, 10 more years of this bullshit. Yeah, 10 more years because you don't fire your coaches.
Well, I honestly, here's the thing with Tomlin. He wins just enough to maybe get to the playoffs, right? But the problem is, unless you're going to trade up and go and get somebody, you are perpetually going through the same cycle because people don't let good quarterbacks go.
No, they never have.
So unless what the Steelers need to do is they need to collect a whole lot of draft picks. Maybe one draft, and I know this sounds crazy, but maybe one draft, trade a lot out and get a lot of draft picks for the following year. And then in that following year, trade up to number 1 or 2 or whatever and go and get a legitimate quarterback that's going to be there for 10 years.
Or you got a lot of aging guys on that defense.
Yeah.
Like Cam Hayward.
Yeah.
Like TJ Watt, who's now 32.
Cam Hayward and TJ Watt, are they first ballot Hall of Famers in your opinion?
Watt, absolutely. Hayward, I love him, but no.
Okay.
I don't even think he's a Hall of Famer.
Okay. Fair. Fair enough.
And I don't think that's unfair to say. Like Watt's easy. Watt's a what 2-time defensive player of the year?
Yeah.
Like, come on now. 2-time defensive player of the year, instant in. One of the best pass rushers of his generation, absolutely Watson. First ballot, easy, like no brainer, Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Hayward, love the son of Ironhead, but nah.
I got you. No worries. No worries.
I just don't think he has the sack production or the stat production to justify it.
Okay. That's fair. That is fair. Georgia, Texas boy, T. Will and Falcons family. The new era is here. The Atlanta Falcons will rise in 2025. Eric Parker, he should have retired last year. Talking about Aaron Rodgers. Michael, he can't carry a team anymore. Eric Parker, Steelers need Kirk. Amen, Eric. Amen. Craig, Rodgers couldn't carry Penix's jock strap.
Nope, he couldn't.
No, he could not.
So, just to throw one more thing in here, the Steelers have two of the better deep ball threats in the NFL in Calvin Austin and DK Metcalf.
They got George Pickens too, don't they?
No, Pickens was traded to the Cowboys.
That's oh my God, T. Will. I did a show on this. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad. I did a whole show on it. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Kirk was the most efficient deep passer in the league last year, even
serious?
with his injury.
Are you serious?
So when you've got the most efficient deep passer in the league and two of the better deep threats in the league, and a scheme that's the only way those guys are really getting shots. I'm just saying, Kirk fits what they want to do there, and Kirk is enough of a team guy that he'd be like, oh, you want me to run play action every single pass? In. You want me to do every single pass from the I form? In. You want me to run some pistol? Sure, in. Like, Kirk would love it. And you know what? I'd be okay with it. Let him go. Let him have fun. Let him play for the Steelers. Let my wife pull her hair out. Because, again, no matter who they got, they're not winning a playoff game.
Oh, that's cruel, Scott. That's just cruel.
Arthur Smith has shown that his highest level of competency through Peter principle, you rise to your highest level of incompetency, right? In an organization, that's the Peter principle. Well, his highest level of competency is offensive line coach, run game coordinator.
Damn.
That is Arthur Smith.
Damn.
Can't design a passing attack to save his life.
Damn.
Doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Damn. Okay.
And they had a guy who could, and they let him go, Charles London, let him go to the Titans. He designed a pretty fun passing attack for the Titans. But letting him leave, and I don't know, it's just a lot of like dumb shit they did when Arthur Smith was here.
Craig says Kirk is all about being a snitch. Michael says, and the Steelers have $34 million cap, exactly enough for Kirk. And
I don't know about exactly enough for Kirk. It's probably more than what they need for Kirk, because Kirk is only going to cost them about $27 million this year.
I'll take
it.
If
they've got 34, that means the Falcons will open up $27 million. Now, if they take the whole contract, don't expect more than like a fifth.
I'm down with that. I'll take. You can give me back a case of beer.
Yeah. We understand it from that perspective. Like, all right, get this albatross out.
Yep.
We will eat whatever money we have to eat, and then have all this open cap in the next couple of years.
Yep. Exactly.
That's how we do it, right?
Yep.
Not everybody views it that way.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
Especially NFL teams.
That's true. All right, so Zach Robinson is expecting big things from Kyle Pitts this year, according to Torin Flores in the article that I quoted this from. The thing we've talked about with Kyle Pitts is just play fast. Ultimately, just play fast no matter what, and that's what we'll coach him up on. Robinson said on Wednesday, comments like these can be concerning for the Falcons as Pitt's production has been underwhelming in recent years. Robinson did not say comments like these. That's what Flores said, and I'm saying this for everybody out there. But essentially, he's like, Well, there are two ways to look at it. Looking at it, either Kyle didn't know the offense and he was thinking too much, or Kyle was lazy. Uh,
Well, or here's the third way to look at it, which is the probably closer to real way to look at it. Kyle was learning the offense with everybody else who was also learning the offense,
yep.
and the tight end position in the offense wasn't fully designed for him and his strengths and weaknesses, and they have to adjust the offense to him a little bit too.
Yeah.
I know we like to blame Kyle, like Kyle's not running his route full speed or whatever, but at the same point, like if you've just run 3 straight routes and then you're on route number 4 and you know you're the 5th option in the check down, are you going to go full bore in that route? Or is that the route that you kind of half speed? Like,
I can hear my father saying, Terry, you better answer this. My father would say you go full speed. Okay. If Dad were here, shout out, Dad.
Yeah, we would go full speed. But if he's winded and he's like, dude, I'm just exhausted. I just ran 3 streaks down the field.
Okay.
Like sometimes that's what's been going on. And you're like, well, I mean, I get why he kind of half-assed that one a little bit. Like,
shouldn't he be in shape though to do that? Or
I mean, to do a streak every single play, no.
No, I mean not every play, but
and I'm going back a little bit because I'm 2023. They had him doing that shit a lot with Arthur Smith.
Okay.
I don't remember that many routes this year. He had like 3 routes this year that you were like, well, he probably could have ran that out a little bit better. And one of them was more like he just ran the wrong route. He did straight instead of reading the defense and doing a cut in.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the thing is, and again, just to be fair, the thing is, we've seen him do that throughout his career, right? So this isn't germane to just last year or the year before. But hey, look if they can maximize Kyle's efficiency, I'm all for it. And like you say, if he was learning the offense last year, that's definitely possible. So good news is, hey, second year of Zach Robinson, so he should be more familiar with it. And Penix definitely seems to like him, so he's got that going for him.
You know what they should be doing? They should go out and get Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Have him mentor Kyle Pitts. Go from there.
Hey, you get no argument from me. I mean, I think that'd be great. I mean, there's worse people to learn from than Tony Gonzalez. So I agree with you 100%, man. That would be great. I'd love to see it. And hey, Tony, if you're out there, just saying. 330. Yeah, I doubt he's fine. You didn't have to say that, Scott. I'm just saying, okay?
Hey, I love Tony, but I don't know if he loves us yet.
I mean, look, a man can dream, okay?
Oh, yeah.
A man can dream. Jeez. Okay. 330, what's up, panel? 330 says, so out of 4 plays, Pitts may be the decoy. The first 3 plays, I guess he looked to be slacking when it counts. I mean, look, to Scott's point, it was only 3 plays last year. Not that you should ever see it, but it was only 3 plays. And again, it could have been that, maybe he wasn't aware of his route, on that. And look, at the end of the day, it's about the Falcons. If we can somehow solve the riddle of Kyle, I'm here for it. I am here for it. Craig says Raheem stopped by the other day, aka Big Love. Oh wow. Yeah, Scott, I gotta tell you about this. So I was doing a show. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. And it's just me, and I'm in my floor or whatever, and I see Raheem Morris, on the person's name coming in, and I'm like, oh my God, right? Oh my God. And Big Low sends me like a little message said, T. Will, it's me. Calm down. Because I went off fanboy. So that's what Craig is talking about. Because I really did geek out. As a matter of fact, I think I said, y'all, I'm about to geek out.
Catfished by Big Low.
I was. I talked to him earlier today. We laughed about it. I was like, yeah, you got me on that one. But again, I'm not above a good joke, man. And I can laugh at myself. So it's okay. But I really did geek out, Scott. If you get a chance, you should watch it. just for that because I was like, oh my god, oh my god, I really did. Like I hook, line, and sinker, hook, line, and sinker. I did. So that's what Craig's referring to. Let's see what else we got here. So, got a little activity, not an activity, but more questions. And Scott, I know you know this because you never forget anything. But for the audience, this famous QB made this statement. We in OT at the coin flip. We want the ball and we're gonna score. And instead of scoring, he threw an interception to end the game in OT. Don't say it. Don't say it. Can you guys in the chat tell me who it is? Again, this is a couple of years ago, maybe 10, 12, I don't know. Maybe even 15. But anyway, it's an overtime game. They're at the coin toss, and the quarterback says, "We want the ball and we're going to score." And you know what he did? They won the toss, and he throws an interception to the quarterback, and they run it back. And Craig, as always, Craig got it. So Craig says, I was about to get Raheem about those timeouts and his short pants. I'm glad, okay. I'm glad you did actually. Craig says Matt Castleback, and he's right. So it was,
Castleback, yeah,
Matt Castleback. It was the Seahawks against the Falcons, and they're at the coin flip. And he said it, and everybody heard it. He says, "We want the ball, and we're gonna score." And I think they were in Green Bay, right? So. That's that. I just thought that was funny.
It was the year after Vic ended the Green Bay mystique.
Oh, it was that far back. Damn, I'm old as hell. I thought it was a couple. Okay, well, you don't know this.
And then the Packers lost to the Panthers, I believe, that year.
They sure did. They sure did. Carrie says, "Laugh my ass off, Craig. Your name, and I appreciate you." Carrie says, "I am free. I am free." Craig says, I think I spelled it wrong. Carrie says, are y'all excited about Acuna being activated tomorrow? Yes, I am, Carrie. Yeah. Oh, you got your Brave shirt on. Wait, do that again. Okay. Love it.
Yeah. I might be going to the game tomorrow just because I don't really have much else to do. Oh, wait, no, I'm being on your show tomorrow. That's right.
Yes.
I was going to say, like, I might just do your show from the stadium.
Bro, look, we will work it out some kind of way. So if you want to go to the game, that's fine. You can make a special appearance.
No, just go Saturday. Huh? That's fine. I'll just go Saturday.
Okay. All right. Either way, it's all good. But yeah, I'm hell yeah, I'm excited about Acuna coming back. I mean, we need him.
I live 5 miles from the stadium, dude.
Damn.
Like,
wow.
I just go down Cobb Parkway and I'm there.
I did not know this about you. My wife works like not even 5 minutes from the stadium. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Wow. All right. Cool. Well, hey man, bring us some luck tomorrow, Scott, or whenever you go.
I'll probably Saturday, but yeah.
Bring us some luck. Bring us some luck. We gotta do it. Yeah, definitely excited about it. So Scott, I want to put your GM and salary cap skills to work here. Okay. All right. So I need you to, obviously you can't visually do it, but I need you to walk us through, right, how we sign Micah Parsons and Trey Hendricks, not together. These are obviously individual scenarios. But scenario one, right? And that's the great thing about doing a show with Scott Korincic. It's like doing a show with the general manager. He knows how to do it. So Scott,
you're gonna hate this response.
Don't you say we can't sign Micah Parsons, Scott. Don't you do it.
So Micah Parsons is gonna get franchise tagged if he's not extended.
Okay. Well,
and we don't have the first round picks to pay for the franchise tag.
Damn it.
So that one's out of it. And then Trey Hendrickson. Can I be honest here? I don't see the need for Trey Hendrickson.
Well, Scott,
you've got Pierce, right?
I know, but
Pierce and Hendrickson are very similar players.
I'm greedy, Scott, and in Terry World we have them. So
I mean, the defensive line coach did say you can never have enough good pass rushers,
you
right?
never have enough good pass rushers. He
I
did say
don't
that.
disagree there, but what are you trading for Hendrickson?
I'm saying next year. He's a free agent next year. I'm saying how do we sign him next
Oh,
year and fit
yeah.
it?
I mean, next year, again, when we're looking at this kind of stuff for next year, it's like, I feel like a more appropriate question would have been who's the backup quarterback they sign whenever they trade Kirk.
So who it all right. Who is the backup QB that they sign when they do trade Kirk? Let's do that.
There's a guy who's still on the market who shouldn't be insanely expensive, who has experience with Zach Robinson from playing with the Rams. Carson Wentz.
You've been saying that. You've been saying that. You've said that before.
That Rams connection, man. And he worked in the room with Zach Robinson, who was the quarterback's coach and the pass game coordinator.
Okay. Okay. I mean that's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying, man. In my fantasy world, we have Micah Parsons. God damn it. So I'm just saying. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Micah Parsons along with Pierce and Walker and oh my God, Scott! I just need you to walk with me, man.
It would be fun, right? But you got to realize you're only putting two, maybe three of those guys on the field at any given moment. And I think long term Walker is the replacement for Caden Ellis anyway. But that's a whole other conversation.
Wasn't it Gordon Gecko that said greed is good? I'm just saying, Scott. I'm just saying, man.
Wasn't Gordon Gecko arrested and thrown in jail for like 40
We're not
years?
talking about that, Scott. I'm just saying.
I
God.
mean, can we talk about how the Boiler Room and Wolf of Wall Street are basically the same movie?
Yeah, they are. They are. I love Wolf of Wall Street, though. I love Wolf of
I
Wall
mean,
Street. I think
they
that's great.
are they not basically the same movie?
They are. They are. Essentially, they are.
Now,
Loosely translated, they are.
I know you do that movie
Podcast.
podcast, but do you ever do a TV show one?
Yeah. All right. Look, I'm open to it. I'm definitely open to it. What TV show are you talking about?
So I just watched through for the first time a TV show called Kevin Can F Himself.
Damn.
It's only 16 episodes. It's 2 seasons. It was on AMC. If you've ever seen Schitt's Creek, it's got the girl that played Alexis from Schitt's Creek as the main person in the show. It's so good.
Is it
Like
a comedy? I mean, what is it? It sounds like it's a comedy.
it's not a comedy. It's like a dark comedy, if you will.
Damn.
It's pretty dark. Like I was laughing at some moments, but I have a pretty twisted sense of humor. If y'all haven't figured out by now.
I for one think that is a quality to be admired, Scott. My wife
There,
would probably not agree, but then she doesn't like my sense of humor, so it's okay. And she's often said, if I wasn't a technician, I'd be a serial killer. Her words, not mine. So I get it. I understand. I understand.
no, see, I'm not that dark. I
I,
just
I don't think I'm that dark either. I'm just saying he said this one day, not me, right? Because you see, I got all these monitors behind me or whatever. And she's like, when's the
oh
stuff? And I'm
yeah.
like, well, I like to be thorough.
Well, I was watching what was it, the documentary on how they got Osama bin Laden on Netflix, and
Yep.
when they were like, when the guy was describing like, yeah, I just saw this guy and he was taller than I remembered, and all this, and I just started laughing because I was like, dude, you know what he looks like. He's had his picture on our TV for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm standing right in front of him. His beard's white, but I know it's him. So I just shot him. And I was like, oh my God. And I just started laughing because I was like, that's the most Navy SEAL, like, don't think, just do thing he could have done.
All right. So Kevin can F himself on AMC. Scott,
Well, it's on Netflix now.
it's on Netflix now. All right. I'm going to check it out. And here's the thing I will do it, but you have to do it with me.
I've already watched it. I just watched
So
it this past
what?
week.
You can talk about it. It's a
Oh,
show.
I'll talk about it next week with you. Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
next week. Not next week. But let's say, well, you know what? Honestly, all right, 16
I
episodes.
mean, it is the off season. We have some time to catch up on some TV
Yeah,
shows.
no. I'm thinking when I could do it because if I'm gonna talk about it, I at least want to watch season one. So we're probably looking at maybe a month. Yeah.
For 8 episodes. Eight
Uh,
45-minute episodes would take you a month to watch.
I'm just trying to be thorough. All right, let's say two. So here's the thing. This weekend I'm doing what's today? Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
Huh. All right.
I'm, oh
Let's
wait, well, because you got the wife and she probably controls the TV a little bit sometimes too, so I get it.
Scott, just so you know, I have 11 TVs in my home, Scott. She
Oh,
and I, I probably got so many. Like I really am a tech nerd, right? So I got a bunch of tablets. Like I could watch 15 shows at one time if I wanted to. It's no problem. It's just I'd like to be thorough. You know what I mean?
oh yeah.
So let's do this. I'm thinking I have a show at 5 o'clock this Saturday on the X-Men, but I don't have one at 8. I could theoretically do a show on that, but that means I gotta watch that tonight and I gotta watch it
And just
tomorrow,
watch it straight
which
through.
is no problem. So let's do this. Let's set it for Saturday night at 8 p.m. Wait, now that means you be at the game Saturday, won't you?
Game on Saturday for the Braves is at 4:10.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh wait, no, Saturday at 8. Saturday night main event. Man, that's wrestling.
Oh, well, we wouldn't want to come in between that. Um,
That's what I'm saying. Just next Wednesday, we'll just throw it in like a 10-15 minute thing.
uh, let's do it next Saturday. If you're open, let's do it. I can't do it Wednesday. I can't. But let's do it. If you're open to it, let's
Oh,
do it.
I'm saying just part of this show.
Okay.
Just like yeah,
Oh, a 15-minute blurb in it. Okay. Yeah, we
yeah.
could do that. We could do that. That's
What
cool.
TV shows you watching, and
All right. That's cool. I'm down for it.
I'll give you a rec and just be like, hey, this is what I recommend.
All
Because
right.
I'm watching through Hawkeye this weekend too. But I started watching it. My wife was like, no, I want to watch that with you. Okay, we'll watch it on Sunday.
That's cool, man. My wife, I've made my wife watch so much more. Not made her, but I kind of like she doesn't like Marvel, so I don't ask anymore. You know what I mean? But that's great. I love that, man. If I want to watch TV with my wife now, I gotta watch what's that? It's a show that comes on YouTube. What is it? Oh God, it's the show where they got my memory. What the hell? Pop the balloon. Pop the balloon.
Pop the balloon.
Yeah. So it's the show basically where you have not the one on Netflix. The one on Netflix is corny. It originated on YouTube. So on YouTube, you might have a cast of 7 or 8 women, and they have balloons, and a single guy will come out, and they'll pop it if they like it, or if they don't like something he said, or they'll keep the balloon. And the goal of it is for there to be a match, a guy for a girl. So when one guy comes out there, he's successful if he can find a match to go on a date with, and it's Pop the Balloon. She loves that show. So every now and then, my wife's not a big TV watcher anyway, but if I want to watch TV with her, that's what we'll watch. So we watch that. She doesn't really like Marvel series, so that's out. I'll watch certain movies with her, but I have marveled her out, right? Yeah, I think these Marvel movies have been for 20 years. And I think the final straw for her was when we went to see Justice League, the first one, not the complete one, because the complete one was good, but the first one left a lot out. And we must have she surprised me for my birthday or something. She was like, hey, let's go see it. And it was 11:30 at night. And we both fell asleep on it at 12:15. And I was like, you know what, honey, let's go home. So
The original, like even the Snyder Cut kind of sucked on Justice League.
I liked it. I liked the Snyder Cut. But the first one just left so much out. I was like, what the hell are we doing?
I mean, so for me, it's not Justice League without the Green Lantern in it, right?
I got you.
Because I grew up on the cartoons of Justice League.
I got you. Me too. Me too.
And like Green Lantern was always John Stewart.
Yeah. Not Hal Jordan. I got you.
Not Hal Jordan. Like,
I got you.
now, don't get me wrong. I like that they picked Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds actually could have been a really good Hal Jordan.
Yeah, the script just sucked.
The script was just awful.
DC typically does very bad live action films. They're great at animated stuff, but their live action, with the exception of a few. The Batman was pretty good. This Superman coming up, it looks like it's going to be really good. Looks like it's going to be really good. So we'll see. Let's see. King Richie says, "Hey, Carrie's free. Laugh out loud. T. Will did his big one. Laugh out loud. He was on his Terry Fonda no business." Thank you, King Richie. Carrie says, "King Richie, thank you. Laugh out loud. You're right. It was nice seeing you on Smitty's show the other day. Salute to you." Carrie says, "We won't sign either one of those guys. We are more likely to sign Jalen Ramsey." Carrie, you're a hater. Just kidding.
I don't think we signed Jalen Ramsey, but yeah.
I don't think we'll sign Ramsey either. Carrie, post draft, I don't see us signing Parsons or Hendrickson. It was in Terry World, Carrie.
So there is a way that I could see it working out where they would sign a guy like Trey Hendrickson.
Okay.
But that means that Caden Ellis is not on the roster next year. That means Jalen Walker is your middle linebacker.
Okay. Well, I figured we'd have to lose somebody.
Yeah. Caden Ellis is the guy that'd be gone. You probably bring back, Trey Hendrickson probably signs a 3-year, $100 million deal, something like that, which is like $33 million a year. So instead of paying for Kirk, you're paying for Trey. I don't know if that's worth it.
Okay, that's fair. Craig says unicorn. And King Richie says, "Thank you, Ed Carey. We ready for the season." All right. So that's let's do that next week. So we'll build that in. So I will that give me a little bit more time to catch up on it. So I will commit to season 1. I'm not going to commit to season 2 because you got to understand when I go in, if I'm going to talk about it on a show, I'm going to really go into it from a granular perspective. You get what I'm saying?
I just watched it. Like
Carrie's giving me credit. 11 TVs, T. Will. There are 8 people that live with us, Carrie. Jesus. Okay.
Okay.
There are 8
you left that out. You left that out.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 TVs in my house.
Yeah, there you go. 2 people, right?
So we got the bedroom.
Yep.
The living room.
Yep.
And each of our offices.
Yep.
And we've got a room that's our like guest room / my wife will just go in there and take a nap sometimes.
Yep.
In the middle of her workday, because it's not like a full bed; it's just like a day bed.
That's
so
awesome.
She'll just like jump on that, and
that's awesome.
The dogs will jump up, and she'll just crash and take a nap in the middle of the day sometimes.
That's awesome.
I've done it too before. I did it yesterday. No shame.
Yeah. Oh no, you were feeling terrible, man. You had it coming. So we got so there's me, my wife, my daughter, my youngest daughter, my son. Although he's fluctuates between here and UGA, but my daughter, my son, my nephew, my 2 nieces, my sister-in-law, and my mother-in-law. So that might be what, 9?
Dang.
4. Okay, it's us 4. My oldest daughter lives by herself. She lives on. Okay, so us 4. Mother-in-law's 5. Need
like a 9-bedroom house or something like.
No, it's like 5 bedrooms. But there's 3 up top, 2 on the bottom, and like a bonus room.
Okay.
So the kids can room with each other. Like obviously, you got folks living with each other.
Yeah, like
rooming with each other. Yeah. So
I was like, dang.
Yeah. So there's a TV in the bedroom, and so I'm in an office right now, right? I'm a matter of fact, I'm trying to do something because this is a mess. You know what? I wanted to show you, but I'm not going to do that because my wife might watch this show and get pissed at me. But there's a TV right behind me. I'm in my office. There's a TV in the bedroom. The bedroom and the offices are adjoined, right? So that's two. There's a TV in my mother-in-law's room. That's three. There's a TV in my son and my daughter's room. That's four and five. Wait, am I counting that right? Yep. There's a TV in the den downstairs. That's six. And then there's a TV in the my nieces and nephews' room. That's seven. Wait a minute. And then I think I've got four TVs I don't use. So I never like I
Just want to
replaced
bring
one
up.
and didn't do the other one. So whatever. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I had to think about that. Like, wait a
If they're
minute.
not hung up and being used, then
Yeah,
whatever.
they're not. Because what? So like I don't throw TVs away. So when I replace one, I'd either give it away to like my daughter.
Oh, okay.
You know what I
I was
mean?
like, so you got some of those old CRT tubes?
No, I have I've got an old 48 incher that's in the garage that nobody uses. I've got another 48. Well, I gave my daughter one, and then I've got like maybe two or three 32 inches that I just, you know what I mean? I've nothing, I've nothing to do with them. And at this point, they're like 10 years old. Nobody's gonna buy them.
No.
I mean,
You,
yeah, so yeah, but like so
I
active.
remember,
I think I got eight active. I had to
I
think.
remember being so excited growing up having my 20-inch TV
I know, right? I know. It's funny how the times have changed.
with
Like
my
I
PlayStation
never would
1.
have thought. You know what? I know what I can do. I'll just do this. I'll just do
My
this.
my PlayStation 1 with Crash Bandicoot.
So that's the one in my office, right? That's 65 inches. That's the one in my office. And I'm gonna cover it up so you guys can't see the mess that is my office. So yeah, so that's the one that I'm in now. That's 65 inches. I got a 65-inch one on the one downstairs, and then I think I got a 50-inch in my wife's bedroom, and then everything else is like just regular TVs. So um, but yeah, 'cause I watch a lot of games, so
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You can't like, and this is gonna sound really bad, but you can't watch a sporting event on anything less than 53 and 50 inches. I'd say like it's a totally different.
55 in
Yeah,
my office,
that's what's
man
up.
cave,
That's what's up.
65 in the living room,
That's what's up.
60 in my wife's office because she got mad that I put the 55 in here. So she got the 60 that was older that I replaced the living room TV with. And then she's got a 43 in her like side room. And
Yep.
we've got a 40-inch in the bedroom.
Yep. Yep. I saw this.
Don't need anything wrong with that, right? In the bedroom.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong at
No.
all. No, I saw this like 90-inch one, but I can't. First off, I don't even think I have the space up there to do 90 inches, and I don't know that I would have it like 90 inches is almost you'd need a whole wall like that wall that'd be on it. It'd have to be huge, man.
You got to see Craig's last two comments.
Oh my god.
I mean, he's got a point.
All right, so I got OCD. So here's the thing, right? The job that I work, it is impossible to do what I do on one screen because I literally work with about 25 different applications. And in order to have that on one screen, I would have 100 tabs up. Okay. And you see, I wear glasses. So I need, and I know this is going to sound really out there, but I need at least five screens. Now I have 10 just because I just like it. I don't know, whatever. I like it. I like having multiple screens. I like because it makes it easier for me, right? So when
I
I'm
mean, it doesn't seem
working
that
on
out there.
when I'm working on an issue, if I got everything I need to look at on one different screen, it goes so much quicker than if I gotta, shift tab this, shift tab that, right? Um Craig said
Oh, I
all of
know.
those screens are dedicated to DoorDash. God damn it, Craig. Shame on you for putting my secret out there. Okay? I'm just saying they don't make those tacos from Gezzo's like I used to like, so I gotta make sure they got the ingredients in them. Craig. Stop messing with me. Leave me alone. There's nothing wrong with having 4 screens dedicated to DoorDash. Anyway, Scott, hey man, thank you for joining us, bro. Let's get together and put together the show for how we'll do it next week. And I'm actually looking forward
Sure.
to it. I think we could make that we could make it a regular part of the show, especially on the off season. I mean, shit, what else we
Oh
got?
yeah, for off season, easy.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. So cool.
What's your watch this week?
So what? Yeah.
What'd you
Oh,
watch this week?
that'll be the
Oh,
segment. Are you asking me or are you saying is that the name of the segment?
that'd be the segment. What'd you
Oh,
watch this
cool.
week? Yeah.
Cool. Let's do it. Cool. All right. Well, hey man, tell these folks where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Karasik S, or you can, yeah, I mean, that's basically where I do all of my stuff now. I just post everything on Twitter, basically. I'm working on a Fat Guys Win Championships article, and then once that's done, I'll post that up. But that's taking a little more research than I was expecting.
I
But I
love it.
probably think it's worth it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, hey man, we will be back here Wednesday next week. So hey, you guys can check us out. Looking forward to it. To everyone who joined, and there was a lot of you, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Look, we couldn't do this without you. That's why we want to do it with you. So thank you for joining us. Appreciate that. I want to thank God. I would not be here without him. Thank you for waking me up. Thank you, God, for just giving me the ability to do this show and giving me this show and allow me to do it with Scott Karasik, like Jurassic, which
Yep.
I've been saying to myself all week. So, thank you, Jack Spade and Eric Parker, for putting me in this business and giving me my opportunity. And thank you, Carrie, for being so nice and being so patient when I blocked you by accident. Carrie, I appreciate it. You know the love I feel for you. Carrie is free, ladies and gentlemen. Go Falcons. You guys have a great week. Good night, everybody.